Welcome to the Getting Unstuck podcast, where we dive into all things law of attraction, manifesting, and what is keeping you stuck in your current reality loop and how to turn it around. My name is Anya and I am your host. In this episode, I want to focus on one important part when it comes to law of attraction and manifesting, and that is the power of your emotions and feelings. Because it's the state of feeling that creates our reality. While this may sound simple, and the phrase that is often associated with law of attraction and manifesting is to simply feel good, think good thoughts, and you will manifest your dream. The reality is so much more intricate than that. Let's start with emotions. Your emotions are your guidance system as to where your focus is at. They let you know that you are either on the path to create what you want, or that you have come off the path to your desire and will be manifesting something else. And that is because our emotions are created by the thoughts that you think, and they start as sensations in your body. It's your emotional reaction that creates chemicals to be released in your body where you can feel them, thus creating feelings. For example, if you think about that upcoming holiday to Ibiza with the lush beach, hot sunshine, and delicious food, it makes you feel happy, excited, and in complete bliss. You can almost feel the happy feelings coursing through your body, the heat of the sun on your skin, and the taste of that delicious ice cream. Those are the emotions that you have created by thinking about something that you enjoy, which has resulted in you being able to feel the experience even though you aren't physically there. But if you think about the stress at work, with its deadlines, demanding boss, and long hours, it makes you feel exhausted, depressed, and stressed. The feeling of depression creates a heaviness in your body, a listlessness that makes you want to climb into bed and stay there. So this line of thinking has got you feeling bad, depressed, and tired. So simply by thinking about certain scenarios, you can direct your emotions to either good or bad feeling ones. This is how much power your thoughts have over your emotions. Focus and thoughts generate feelings. Therefore, your feelings are very closely linked to your emotions and are created by your thoughts about those emotions. They are the result of how we interpret those emotions and how we let them sink into our mind and body. The term feeling is used to describe physical as well as emotional states. So for most of us, we have been taught not to be so emotional growing up, especially for us women, that being emotional is a bad thing, that we are being overly emotional, which alludes to the conclusion that we are unbalanced and therefore cannot and should not be trusted to make good decisions for ourselves or others. Instead, only the rational mind should be trusted. Only the calculated and analytical mind is trustworthy. And so, through the generations, we have come to believe that if we are feeling emotional, that we are towing the line of being crazy, that we should not trust our emotions, and that they are a part of us that needs to be controlled and ignored. We have been taught that our emotional reactions to things are bad and seen as typical women's reactions. And if a man reacts with emotions, that he is soft, and soft is bad too. It's no wonder then that we have disconnected from our emotions and have forgotten the important guidance system that they are. And we have forgotten what it feels like to really feel our emotions. By suppressing our emotions, we are suppressing a vital part of our humanness, our connection to the divine. You see, when we tune into our emotions, which are perfectly made to let us know where our focus and thinking is at, we tune into our divine guidance. Our emotions are an important sensor to give us information about what is going on around us, how we are perceiving it, and what meaning it has to us. They also let us know what kind of experiences we are busy creating. Because our emotions and feelings are also our creative power. The whole point for us here on this physical earth is to create what we desire. And in order for us to be able to do that, we have to know what it is that we desire in the first place. And as simple as it sounds, it is often the hardest part in the manifesting equation. The problem that we repeatedly face is that we don't actually know what we want. And so our emotional guidance system feels wonky because our focus is wonky. We move from one desire to another and another without holding them in our attention long enough to let the law of attraction gain momentum and manifest it into our life. So because we feel a little bit here and a little bit there, then a big emotion and feeling about something, usually something negative, we find ourselves creating a life that is upside down and all over the show. That then feels like we are on a bit of a roller coaster ride. So in order for manifestation to happen, we have to keep our focus on what we want and generate the feeling of what it feels like when we have what we want. Because it's our subconscious mind that causes manifestations to materialize into our life, and the subconscious mind deals with feelings and emotions. Neville Goddard describes this in more specific details. He states that by impressing our subconscious mind with our feeling, it will then express that feeling into reality. So when you feel a number of different feelings, the one that will be expressed into reality is the one that you feel the strongest. That is why there is an unequivocal correlation between the feeling that you are feeling and the experience that you are having in your physical life. So, our emotions create sensations in our body, which makes our body an emotional filter. And emotions that are suppressed are believed to be a contributing factor to our body becoming unwell. Our body also reflects what our most consistent emotion is. In her book, Metaphysical Anatomy, Yvette Rose describes the various physical ailments and how they are related to our emotions. For example, having bladder problems can be the result of storing a great amount of daily irritations in the bladder. Like when a person is feeling overwhelmed because of stress, irritation, or feeling pissed off, it can literally manifest in the bladder as a bladder infection or a urinary tract infection. Therefore, if your dominant emotions are in the range of regret, fear, frustration, or anger, it has the potential to end in dis-ease in your body. But all is not doom and gloom, I promise. Because you can change your feelings and you can change the direction of your life experience. Since all manifestations are created by the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind responds to your feelings, we do have the power to influence and generate our feelings on purpose. We do that by becoming aware of our thoughts, ideas, and where we put our focus on. This has a knock-on effect on what kind of emotions and feelings that we generate, and ultimately create into our reality. When we want to create something on purpose, let's say that you really want to have a relationship. You really want to have a meaningful connection, one that is loving and supportive and truthful, where you have fun together, you have common interests, and so on. You have to find out how you want to feel when you are in that relationship. Do you feel in love or content, or do you feel supported? Whatever feeling that you want to feel is the one that you want to focus on. Because the feeling sensation is where manifesting starts. You could call that step 2. Step 1 is being clear on what you actually want. The work here is to spend some time on what it feels like when you have that relationship. Because this is a very personal experience. And the things that are important to you are very personal to you. Also, the feeling of being in love is more powerful than the feeling that you want to be in love. And you can't fool the subconscious mind. You can't pretend that you believe you are in love. You actually have to generate that feeling of being in love inside of you. Because if you are pretending and saying to yourself that, yes, I feel in love, when what you actually feel is that this is silly, or it's just make-believe, then this is what the subconscious mind will respond to. Likewise, if you have a multitude of emotions swirling inside of you, like the desire to be in love, but at the same time, you believe that it will never happen to you, or that the good ones are taken, or that you are too old or too young, or have the wrong body shape, or whatever else that is the objection, that what you believe to be true is what your subconscious will believe also. So if you believe that you are lovable and you feel it in your heart, in your body, and in your mind, then that is what your subconscious will manifest into your experience. More situations where you feel lovable. Situations where people will reflect back to you your truth that you are lovable and that they want to love you. Hence, you will attract a person who agrees with your belief and your feeling that you are lovable, and they will love you. But on the other hand, if you want to be loved, but you believe that there is something wrong with you and somehow you just feel wrong inside, then that is the feeling that your subconscious will create for you. More situations where you feel wrong. The person that you want to go on a date with will feel that there is something wrong. They may not necessarily think that there's something wrong with you, but there will be something wrong somewhere. The day is wrong and so they can't make it, or all of a sudden there is something wrong with their car, or etc., etc. Your feeling of something wrong will be the energy that your subconscious takes as truth and creates into your physical experience. So if you are not aware of the state of emotions and feelings that you are predominantly feeling, then you will constantly wonder what is going on in your life. You may even feel like the victim in your life circumstances because it feels like you have no choice and that life keeps happening to you. It's as if there's a cycle of situations that just keeps happening to you. Say that you have a general feeling of frustration. You don't exactly know why, but you keep finding yourself frustrated about something. If you were to think about it, you would find that there seems to be a lot of things that you are frustrated about. Things like always having to wait in a queue. No matter where you go, somehow you always end up in a queue for things. Or you always get stuck in traffic, making you feel really frustrated because you really wanted to be early for that coffee with your friend, but now you're going to be late. In this example, your most dominant emotion is that of frustration. You feel it in your body when your chest constricts and the pressure increases in your head. You have come to know this feeling well. It's very familiar, and it is easily accessible to you. You have come to expect that there will be someone or some situation that will give you a really good reason to be frustrated. Because after all, if everyone just knew how to drive properly, then there would be no reason to be stuck in a traffic jam. This is how you would be creating more frustration to come into your life. Your focus has honed in on all the reasons to be frustrated by. You see it almost everywhere. The way that the kettle takes too long to boil, or the way that the people in the grocery store always stop right in front of you with their shopping trolleys, and so you get blocked in behind them and have to somehow figure out how to get around them to carry on with your shop. Your focus on all the reasons that frustrate you will highlight them to you. This focus produces thoughts about what you observe. Like, these silly people with their shopping trolleys are always stopping right in front of me. Don't they realize that they are in my way? And it's these thoughts that create the emotion of frustration, which you experience as a sensation in your body as tightness in your chest and pressure in your head. And this then leads to you feeling frustration in full force. So, as per the law of attraction, this feeling of frustration is your most powerful emotion and feeling. You feel it very specifically and you know it well. It doesn't take much for you to go into that feeling of frustration, and you have come to expect it every time you go to the grocery store. So your subconscious mind takes the emotion that you feel so strongly and comes to expect so regularly, and it agrees with you. It always agrees with your feelings. The subconscious mind is impersonal. It doesn't judge or declare a feeling as right or wrong or good or bad. It simply goes with whatever feeling that you are feeling as being true. the state of feelings that you are immersed in and fully believe in. Because it responds to the feeling that you are feeling, it will create that kind of reality. So more of those kind of feelings are created through circumstances in your day. But this is where you're paralyzed as well. You have the power to choose how you want to feel. And you might be thinking that this is a nice idea, but simply not how life goes. There are always more people with their shopping trolleys that somehow need to stop right in front of you. I hear you. But you have the power to choose where you put your focus. You can choose to focus on things that make you feel good. It may seem strange to you when you start doing it, but stick with it and you will see how your life starts to feel better and better. So here's how you can do this. Choose something that you want. And if you aren't sure yet, then a good place to start is by simply wanting to feel better. Write down the things that make you happy, like a beautiful flower or that first cup of coffee in the morning or the sun shining. Pick anything that when you think about it, it makes you feel good. This doesn't have to be outright happiness or joy, although if it does, then absolutely go with it. But the idea here is to focus on things that make you feel better. Even just a little bit better is enough. Then notice, what about that thing or memory makes you feel good? Is it the way that your best friend laughs, or the way that your dog lays its head on your knee for some attention? What is it that makes you feel good? Notice that. Focus on that. The trick here is to keep it really simple. Just notice what makes you feel good and do more of that. It may not be as simple in the beginning because you may be so conditioned to find all the wrongs in your life that looking for the rights might be a bit of an exercise. And that's okay. There is no hurry here. It is simply an exercise in noticing what makes you feel good. Because feeling good feels good and it's worth pursuing. At the end of your day, it helps to go over your day and think about the things, people, situations that you enjoyed, the incidents that made you feel good, that made you smile. The more you notice things that feel good to you, the more you dwell on them and the more you will notice them. See how this then becomes a knock-on effect? The more you look for things to appreciate in your life, the more you will find them. And when you start to feel good in yourself, the more you start feeling appreciation for all the good things in your life, the more you will create more things to be grateful for. The feeling of appreciation and gratitude is a very powerful feeling to help turn your life around. Because when you are in that feeling state of appreciation and gratitude, your subconscious mind will accept that as truth and agree with you. It will start creating more situations and opportunities for you to be grateful for and appreciative of. And how good does that feel? A life that starts to improve more and more, that before you know it, you are loving your life. It is possible.